Hello, my name is Ian Jones, and welcome to the networking workshop hosted by the CSE Club. And I'm the events coordinator who will be going over you guys what to do here. So, for this workshop, I'll be showing you these tools you can use to show off your projects and portfolios to help you find with internships and job interviews. So, three sites we're going to be using is LinkedIn, GitHub, and WayUp. For the major tool, we're going to be using GitHub and how it interacts with the others. Now, GitHub is a very useful tool. GitHub is basically a collaborative, community website where you can share, discover, and promote your projects with other people. Now, in order to follow along, make sure you have a GitHub account and that you've actually downloaded Git Bash onto your computer since it'll be necessary to follow along. Now, the great thing about GitHub is that you can show off your portfolios and even now for this workshop where I'm going to be having you guys do with GitHub is I'm going to show you how to create a repository and clone it onto your local machine. That way you can publish any and all code you're currently working on onto GitHub so you can show it off. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go straight onto the GitHub website. Now, when you make a GitHub, the best thing about GitHub is that you can actually link into other websites. Like how I have it here, I have my account synced up with my LinkedIn account. You should also put a little bio, explain a little bit about yourself, so that means when people who are looking on your LinkedIn and they can see your GitHub, they can also see what your GitHub's mainly for. Now, my GitHub center more towards visual effects. So I'm going to go into the repositories, and once you're here, this is where we're going to create the repository we're going to use. So just click on the new button. And once you've done that, you're going to see something, a page, and you'll see repository name. So inside this, I'm just going to type in networking. And after that, you want to make sure that your repository is set to public and that you initialize the repository with a README file. I'll explain later about what's good about the README files and what you can do with them. Then once you've done that, just create a repository. It should take about a few seconds, but with a fast computer, it should be finished in a flash. Now once it's all loaded up, you'll see your repository is created, and the next task is really simple. You're just going to click on the clone or download button, you'll see a link, and all you're going to do is copy and paste the link. And if you successfully downloaded Git Bash, just open up Git Bash, and then you'll see a blank screen. Now this should look familiar to you. It should look like a terminal, and that's because Git Bash is powered by Linux. So if you understand Linux, you should be right at home with Git Bash. And even if you don't worry too much about it. I'll post a link for a Git Bash commands that should help you. And the Git Bash commands we're using in this one are going to be very simple, so you shouldn't have a hard time as long as you keep up. So once you load up, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to type in CD, which stands for change directory, and you're going to change it to documents. Now I say documents because that's usually where I keep my programming files, but change it to wherever you want to keep them. Now you don't need to remember all the commands. That's what the cheat sheet is for. So anytime you get stuck, just reference this. And also a good command to memorize is Git Status, because Git Status will help you know what's going on with your repository and what's the next task you're going to have to take. Now after you switched over to the Documents branch, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to type in Git clone, and then you're going to paste in the link that you just copied. Now, first thing I'm going to do is type in ls, and this will show me a list of all the files that are inside the documents. You can do this to make sure you're in the right place. So once you start the cloning process, it should go really fast. Considering the fact there's nothing in the repository, it should take about no more than 2-3 seconds at the most. Now once that's done, the next thing you want to do is you're going to want to change the directory over to the repository you just cloned. Now you can see right here, if you go to your file explorer, you'll see there's a networking folder, and inside that should be the README file that you already set up in your repository. Now after that, the next thing you're going to want to do is upload your files to this. Now there's multiple ways you can do this. What I'm going to do is, since I already have C# scripts that are already made, I'm just going to take the folder where I have them stored and drag them straight into the repository. Another thing you can do, and this is probably going to be the way you're going to be doing it the most, is in the IDE you use for programming or your projects, instead of just saving them to your desktop or documents folder, just save them inside the repository folder that you just cloned. And that way it'll just always update. So it'll really cut a lot of the monotony out for you. Now, as you can see in my folder, it has only 4 scripts. So I'm just going to take my folder and drag it into the new repository folder that we made. Now, if you look inside, you should see your project window, and then you're just going to go into Git Bash, and all you're simply going to type is git add.a. Make sure there's a space between that .a and the add, and then click enter. Make sure that Git Bash shows that you're in the folder for your repository. Then after that goes through, the next thing you're going to type in is Git Commit, COMMIT. Then you're going to put a -m and you put 2 parentheses. Now inside these parentheses, you want to put a footnote to yourself to show what you really did. So just put like updated files or just something like that. Then after that, you're going to click enter again, and then do Git Status. And Git Status will tell you what the next thing you should do if everything's up to date. And assuming everything goes right, the Git Status should tell you something like just type in Git Push. Now, the next thing you're just going to type is Git Push. So after you do that and click enter, just wait for your Git Bash to load. It should give you a message when it's done. And when you're done, go back to your Git site and refresh the page to the Git repository. You should see the folder/scripts that you just updated onto there. Just click on them inside of the GitHub website, and they should appear on there. Now, when you're looking through your code, make sure you put comments throughout your code. This is a good practice to do because if you tell how the code works and what it's doing, your interviewers or anyone who looks at your code will know that you have an idea what you're doing and you actually know what you're doing. That way it doesn't just look like you just copy and pasted it and has no idea how it works. It's also good for when you're working with other project people. That way they can see your thought process when writing code. Now, another good practice to do is to put a short description of what your code does, or put it in a GIF of some kind inside the README file to show the final result of what your code is supposed to do. Because 9 times out of 10, an interviewer or somebody who's recruiting, when they go to your GitHub, they're just going to see the README file. They're not actually going to just read through all your code to make sure it's done right. Now, after that is done, that's everything you're going to have to do for this. So congratulations, pat yourself on the back. There's nothing left to do. All you got to do is just listen and watch. So now I'm going to show you my portfolio, how I just set up my README file. Now this is for a visual effects artist for game design. So it doesn't have to look exactly like this. You can just look up how to do these things. It's quite simple. So this is my README file. As you can see, there's GIFs showing what each of the images does, and I give a brief description and breakdown of what each image is and my thought process and how I created it. All right, so we're done with GitHub, and we're going to move on to the next one. The next thing we're moving on to is LinkedIn. Now, you should have heard of LinkedIn or actually have an account. Even if you don't, I definitely recommend making one. Now, LinkedIn is something that's used by a lot of people. And think of it like a professional, work-oriented Facebook page, if that makes any sense. And on LinkedIn, you can post all your projects. Like, it's not like a resume or a cover letter you have to be selective. Just post anything and everything you ever done, and make sure it's like more refurbished stuff that you've done. Even your work history, it's good. It's just good to have, and a lot of people use LinkedIn. Another cool thing about LinkedIn is that you can actually follow companies on LinkedIn too. And a lot of companies, they constantly post like their when applications are coming up, since they're more likely to do it on their own personal pages. And you can also follow your friends. Now, another good thing about LinkedIn is that they have their own proficiency test. They even do it for programming too, and they're pretty hard questions on there. There's some questions that are even used by recruiters for actual computer science jobs. So if you do well, LinkedIn will report them, and it's just something that's good to show when you're giving people your LinkedIn on your resume and other type of applications. And another thing is when you're building up your friend page or just people you follow on LinkedIn, if they're people you actually know, they can even endorse your skill set. So if they're well known within the company you're applying for, then that's something that can earn you extra brownie points. So when it comes to setting up your LinkedIn, just do a brief bio, just like you did with your GitHub. Another cool thing with LinkedIn is that you can link it to your GitHub too. So that way people are looking at you and they see that you're a programmer, they can just take a click at a button and see what you've done. It's really simple. It's a great way to just network yourself out there online and just really branched out. And the beauty of it is just how it's just a chronologue of everything that you've done. And the next site we're going to look at is WayUp. And with LinkedIn, definitely recommend just do it, just update it over time, update it regularly. Now, WayUp is a bit similar and a bit different at the same time. Now, WayUp is a bit more sleek looking at LinkedIn at first glance, but it has a few things that set it apart. Now, the best thing about WayUp is that it's actually more geared towards college students to help find internships and interviews and things like that. But interviewers actually actively look for people on WayUp. What WayUp does is it takes your profile and recommends it to recruiters for internships. Like me, myself, I've already gotten 4 offers from internships who personally saw my own application and profile. And the best thing about WayUp is that it's actually really compatible with GitHub. So if you link your GitHub to it, it will naturally update with notifications that you've done stuff on GitHub. You can also link up your YouTube account to it if you've ever done videos of any kind. Let's say you work for Skillshare or put stuff on YouTube or any kind of tutorials or have any kind of video documentation, you can link it up. That way people can see all the stuff you naturally done. And another cool thing about WayUp is that it also gives you recommendations on skills or how you can edit your resume or interviewing recommendations, things like that. So it's something I definitely recommend putting hours into. It's a great way to help you find an internship and even better for when you're looking for jobs because it'll even keep a record of all the applications that you signed up for and you can even keep a record of how your internships went. So these are the 3 main sites, but they're not the only sites you can make use of. There's sites like HackerRank and Code Wars, which are programming sites that are used for people not only to just practice programming and learn programming, but they also have their own testing applications to them so you can test your skills. And in the case of Code Wars, it's actually used by professional programmers who share code and even make tests that are going to be used for when you go into an interview for an actual computer science job. So I recommend checking out those sites too. So this is the end of the workshop. I really hope you guys took something away from this. Definitely try out any of these sites. They'll definitely help with internships, especially now with the coronavirus. So just make use of your time. Make your accounts here. Really put anything you think of that you're proud of, project-wise, portfolio-wise, onto these sites. And you might just get some recommendations or might be a little more productive than usual. So this is Zion Jones. We hope you really had a fun time with this workshop, and I hope you have a nice day.